Are you a soap maker who wants to expand their business into skincare and hair care, but you're not sure where to start? Between worries about wasting money and materials and being overwhelmed by all the new ingredients, it's no wonder expanding your product line can be really daunting. Hi everybody, I'm Marie Rama from Humblebee and Me, and I am so excited to be here at the Bramble studio to share 8 common mistakes soap makers often make when they first get into creating skincare and hair care products, and how to avoid them so you can get crafting with confidence. A little about me: I have been creating a wide variety of bath and beauty formulations since 2011. You might recognize me from my own YouTube channel, Humblebee and Me, where I share free formulations and information for creating your own hair care, skincare, cosmetics, and more. In addition to YouTube, you can find my formulations on my blog, humblebeeandme.com, as well as in my book, Make It Up: The Essential Guide to DIY Makeup and Skincare. While I now focus on teaching hair care, skincare, and cosmetic formulation, I'm no stranger to cold process soap making. It's where I got started, and I love the magic of saponification. Over the years, I've helped thousands of soap makers make their first serums, lotions, hair conditioners, and more. There's a lot of overlap between soap making and skincare, but there's lots of differences too. So, without further ado, let's get into 8 common mistakes soap makers make as they begin their journey into skincare and hair care, and how to avoid them so you can save time and money and successfully expand your business. Mistake number 4 is one I don't hear about much, but it is really important. Have you ever made a brand new soup recipe only to discover it wasn't very good, but now you were going to be stuck eating it for a week since you made such a huge batch? I did this once, except it was 10 liters, roughly 2.5 gallons of split pea soup, and I was eating it for 2 months. In soap, it's not uncommon to create batches of soap that are 5 pounds or more at a time. But if you carry those batch sizes over to hair care and skincare formulation, you'll be run out of your studio by lotion in no time. While my soap development batches are typically at least 500 grams, I recommend making no more than 100 grams or 3.5 ounces when trying a new hair care or skincare formulation. Working with smaller amounts of ingredients and creating smaller batches can be a big adjustment. To make life easier, I highly recommend switching from ounces to grams if you're an ounce maker. Grams are much smaller than ounces, and a 100-gram batch is the perfect test size for products like lotions and creams. Our second mistake will require you to spend a bit of money, but it will save you tons of frustration. It's all well and good to say you should be making 100-gram batches, but if you try to do that with your soap making tools, you'll feel like you're trying to dance in shoes that are 5 sizes too big. Soap making tools often include a stick blender, large containers for lye and oils, and big spoons and spatulas. But when creating skincare, many soapers find their tools are just too darn big for smaller batches. I recommend investing in a scale that measures in grams down to 0.01 grams is very helpful. Small, flexible spatulas, these ones are my absolute favorite, and smaller beakers. Other tools include pH strips or meters, because pH becomes so important when creating skincare and hair care, and an immersion blender with a smaller head for mixing smaller batches. This next mistake could lead to products that are irritating or simply too strongly scented to use. As a soap maker, you're used to creating wash-off products that often have to saponify and cure before they're ready to use. As such, these products have much higher fragrance usage rates than skincare products like lotions and serums. Facial skin can be extra sensitive, and unlike soap, most facial products are left on the skin rather than being washed off in the shower. While I might use 2 to 4% fragrance in a soap, I'd probably use only 0.1 to 0.3% of the same fragrance in a lotion. A little fragrance in skincare and hair care goes a long way. If you're unsure how much fragrance or essential oil to use, Brambleberry's fragrance calculator is a great tool. This is also a place where personal testing is very important. Test your products yourself and have friends and family give feedback on the fragrance strength. Mistake number 3 can lead to lots of waste and inflated costs without any skincare benefit. Soap is only on the skin for mere moments before being washed down the drain, along with germs and dirt. Because it's not in contact with the skin for very long, we typically choose less expensive ingredients. When you get into making skincare and hair care products, you open up the wide world of leave-on products. Formulations like facial lotions, serums, and leave-on conditioners that stay on the skin and hair rather than getting washed off. Customers are looking for different things when it comes to leave-on and wash-off products, and it's important to take those into consideration. For example, with soap, you don't need to worry as much about how much color you're adding because it will be washed away. But if you use too much mica in a lotion, you could leave your customers visibly shimmering. Formulating leave-on products opens up a wide variety of new ingredient options because some ingredients like hyaluronic acid or niacinamide just don't make sense to add to soap. These ingredients need to stay on the skin to work their magic, so putting them in a product that is immediately washed off is a waste. This next mistake can be a serious safety hazard, so it's really important to get a handle on this before you start selling skincare. Many soap makers have never worked with preservatives, as soap doesn't need to be preserved due to its high pH. However, hair care and skincare products like lotions and conditioners should have a much lower pH and tend to contain a high percentage of water, which creates perfect conditions for bacteria and mold growth. You must use preservatives to safely make hydrous products like lotions, conditioners, serums, and more. I know preservatives can be really intimidating. There are lots of different kinds and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. Luckily, Brambleberry has plenty of preservative options and resources to find the right one for your formulation. I also have lots of helpful information on my website, and you can find that linked in the description box below. Our next mistake can lead to your products looking cheap and being really unpleasant to use. This one can be a bit tricky because it takes time for the problem to show itself. Soap is often packaged in cardboard boxes, paper, or ribbon, which is then discarded before the soap is even used, and this means the packaging doesn't need to last all that long. Compare that to the packaging for products like lip balms or lotions, which could live in a purse or in a jar for months, if not years. How will that label hold up? Will it fade and tear over time? Will that tin scratch and dent and eventually become hard to open or close? Make sure to test your packaging in the way your customers might treat it to be sure it's up to the challenge. You've also got to remember that skincare products come in far more formats than soap does. Everything from ultra-thin liquids to thick creams to fluid lotions. There are a lot more types of packaging for these products, from jars and squeeze bottles to pump caps and spray bottles. It's so important to test your product in different packaging options to make sure the product is easily accessible. For example, a cream might be too thick to be pumped through a pump top, but if it's too runny, it might leak out of a jar. Packaging is key, and Brambleberry has a wide variety of packaging options. Just remember to always test. Up next, we need to talk about something that is essential if you want to be profitable. With soap making, a large portion of your costs will go into oils and fragrances because they make up such a large part of your recipe. But with lots of skincare and hair care, oils and fragrances are used in very small amounts, and distilled water makes up a large portion of many formulations. Where you may see an increase in cost is often in specialty actives like hyaluronic acid, ceramides, and vitamins, and even packaging. The higher price tag for skincare ingredients can lead soap makers to think they can't make a profit. But you need to also consider the perceived value of skincare and hair care. Consumers are often willing to pay more for products like serums, hair masks, and creams than they are willing to pay for a bar of soap. $50 face creams aren't uncommon, but when was the last time you saw a $50 bar of soap for sale? Don't be afraid to reconsider your margins for skincare and hair care products. And last but not least, this is maybe the biggest mistake I see, and it can seriously hold you back. I've heard from so many soap makers, people who can handle lie and pour a 10-pound pot of soap like it's nothing, that skincare and hair care is just too complicated and too daunting. As someone who has done both, Let me tell you, if you can conquer making soap, you can absolutely create skincare and hair care formulations. Yes, it's true there are new concepts to learn, tools to buy, and things to consider, but so much of your soap knowledge will come into play when formulating skincare. For example, knowing the benefits of various ingredients like oils and butters and additives, that's huge. Other key concepts that may seem second nature, like understanding the importance of temperature and using a scale properly, give you a massive leg up in creating products outside of soap. If you can conquer working with sodium hydroxide, you can basically make anything. I hope this video helped you feel more confident about expanding your product line beyond soap. If you're looking to get started, Brambleberry now carries a wide variety of hair care ingredients. I recommend getting started with their brand new hair mask base, which I formulated. Watch this video next to learn how you can customize that creamy base to create your very own hair masks. Thanks to Brambleberry for having me on their channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to be notified of upcoming videos. Bye! Rolling audio? Rolling me. Try to be like, okay, now take a moment to absorb. You are here. Yeah. This is real. Yeah. People will be like, what was it like? It's like, I don't know, I blacked out the whole time I was there. I was just in a trance. I don't remember a thing. Yes.